I can't lie, fam. Assassin's Creed Revelations is probably my second favourite Assassin's Creed game, but it definitely has the most flaws when it comes down to the Ezio trilogy. Hello everybody, it's Mr. Menziah here and welcome back to another video, and today I will be reviewing Assassin's Creed Revelations. Assassin's Creed Revelations is set about 10 years after the events of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Ezio has moved on from revenge, and this time he wants answers. Make a little roundup about the game. This game is pretty much a conclusion to any of the loose ties that we've had with the Ezio trilogy. So we have the conclusion to Altair, we have the conclusion to Ezio and Subject 16, and we finally understand what the bigger threat is when it comes down to the Assassin's Creed franchise. So let's talk about the positives. The gameplay in AC Revelations is still buttery smooth and very responsive, and also very brutal. Much brutal than its predecessors, Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. In Revelations, you can do some pretty nasty kills when you do the counter killing system right. This is something I really enjoyed, especially when you're using your sword. There's lots of brutal finishes that you can do in Assassin's Creed Revelations, and Ubisoft did a good job in making the combat fun in this title. Then there's the story in Assassin's Creed Revelations. So in this title, this is pretty much tying up any loose ends that have happened between Assassin's Creed 1 and Revelations. So there is a conclusion to Altair's story, a conclusion to Ezio's story, and also a conclusion to Subject 16, and understanding what the big threat is throughout the Assassin's Creed franchise. I can't even lie, fam. When I completed Assassin's Creed Revelations when it first came out, I cried at the ending. I feel the ending was masterfully done, and it is a beautiful send-off for Altair and Ezio. And I can't believe how Ubisoft can't seem to get a pretty good ending for most of Assassin's Creed games nowadays. When you see the ending for AC Revelations, and it's very emotional, and I think they did the characters justice. The soundtrack and also the acting was very well done when it came down to the story, and I think this is something Revelations doesn't get the credit for. This game has by far one of the deepest stories in the entire franchise. The city that we are in is also very nice here. We explore Constantinople in the 1500s, and it is a very vibrant, coloured place to be in. It's vastly different to being in Italy, where we had like Rome, we had Venice, Florence. In this one we have two cities. We have Constantinople and Cappadocia. Constantinople is beautifully made, and how do I pronounce it? Cappadocia is an underground city where it's very explanatory. It is like a village that is in a massive cave, and it is vastly different to Constantinople, and I hardly go in there because there's not much to do, but it's actually fun to explore because it is a pretty cool map to be in. So when it came down to the open world, Ubisoft did a very good job. And now on to the negatives. I've got two in mind. It's this game mode that you are watching right now, the Den Defense. I feel a lot of people have spoken on this before when mentioning Assassin's Creed Revelations. This game mode I should say, I feel is very unnecessary to the game. And I think they didn't do enough development on it, because you can pretty much complete the game without and if you do the towers properly and you level up your assassins, you can only do this game mode once and you never have to touch it again, which that might sound like a good thing despite how flawed this game mode is, but it's not really, because you can level up your assassin to mastery rank and master all of the towers, and you could possibly miss out on any of the upgrades that happen with Den Defense. So it's a bit weird. You can complete the game before you even get into this situation and miss out on some of the choices that you get to choose from when you do the den defense. Like, you get to use Greek fire, you get to use different types of ways to stopping the Templars, or you can completely miss it by leveling up your assassins. So I think they didn't do enough development on this game, or this game mode, sorry, and I think it's pretty unnecessary of how irrelevant it is and how undeveloped it is. And then there is the first person platforming game mode. Jesus Christ. Right, so this first person platforming game that Ubisoft decided to add into this is absolutely atrocious. I do not like this at all, and I don't think it fits in with Assassin's Creed. So this game mode is basically, you've got two types. You've got the Desmond story type and you have the Subject 16 story type. With the Desmond story in this first person mode, it explains his story before the events of Assassin's Creed 1. That I can completely understand. I think, yes, you should flush that out. But the way this game mode works is infuriating, because you can't parkour. It's you press X or you walk on a block and it levitates you up. I hate this game mode. Why was this implemented? Like, and then when you get to a certain point, you use these blocks, like these Minecraft blocks that you step on that help you traverse and climb on higher surfaces. In my opinion, this game mode doesn't need to exist. Like, why? This is Assassin's Creed, where you're supposed to be doing parkour, but in this stupid game mode, you're out here walking on giant blocks, and I think it was completely unnecessary. In my opinion, I feel this does weigh down Revelations, because the story aspect of it is good. I think that's fine. But the gameplay part of it is just horrid. Like, why is this even in here? I still think it's ridiculous. Like, it's just silly. Like, why is this supposed to be an assassin who kills all the guys, and I'm out here in the Animus climbing on Rubik's Cubes, fam? Like, come on, Ubisoft, you can do better than that, fam. But yes, so we have the story aspect, which is a part of the campaign, and then we have the DLC, which the Ezio trilogy comes with, and it's the same thing but with Subject 16's story, and it's even more frustrating. In fact, that's what's stopping me from getting the platinum on this game. I do not like this game mode at all, and I find it very frustrating to play. And I don't think I'm going to get the platinum trophy anytime soon. But if you could, it is skippable. It's basically side content. It's not anything important. But I think Ubisoft did this the wrong way. And I think it definitely hurts Assassin's Creed Revelations, in my opinion. But nonetheless, folks, Assassin's Creed Revelations, it isn't the best game. I think the best part of this game is the story, and that alone is worth playing, because the story in this game is fantastic and definitely is one of the best in the entire franchise. But it does have a lot of unnecessary content in here that I just feel, why even bother to add it at all? Like, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't progress the story, it's just side content that isn't really fun to do. But it's not all fun, unlike all boring. There are some pretty good side missions, like when you level up your recruit. So yes, they've added in the recruiting system from Brotherhood, where some assassins that you recruit actually have their own story, and it's pretty cool to see them progress from a trainee assassin to becoming a master assassin. And when you do this, you get to fight like master Templars as well. Yes, there's like Templar bad guys you can fight in this storyline for each of your assassins, and that's pretty good in my opinion. They flushed out the assassin recruiting system a lot more in here, but that's not what you're really here for. I would say the best part, as I said before, is the story, and I would recommend playing this entry for the story alone. But that's all I've really got to say for this game, folks. I would definitely recommend picking up the Ezio trilogy on discount, and I would say it's definitely, you've got the best Assassin's Creed games in one bundle for a very cheap price. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have you played Assassin's Creed Revelations before? And do you like it or don't you? You know what to do in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, folks. I am back. Yeah, I've been on a hiatus because a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. Like the rioting, the Black Lives Matter stuff. Then I went to my dad's for a birthday party, and so on and so forth. But I'm back, and I've got the PlayStation 5 thoughts video coming, and I've also got a collaboration podcast with Zedai coming today as well. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.